Game so close to advancing to the Eastern Conference Finals last season, losing in Game 7 to Milwaukee. Perhaps if Kevin Durant had smaller feet, it would have been a different result. Perhaps if the Nets had their best players on the floor for more minutes, it would have been a different result. But the reality is their big three, Durant, Kyrie Irving, and James Harden, played just 14 games together all season long. They are back for Media Day. Our Stephanie Reddy caught up with Kevin Durant.
At Nets Media Day with Kevin Durant. Kevin, I want to start with a joyful event, a day, if you will, August 6th. What does that date mean to you when you think about what happened?
I mean, it was a cap to a great summer. I mean, we did everything we wanted to do out there and accomplished something amazing with a great group of guys, so it was fun. And
then also the cherry on top, the contract, same day.
Yeah. It worked out well. I was able to renew my contract here with the Nets and wanted to be here and play for this organization and with my teammates for as long as possible and play in front of this fan base. And so I'm looking forward to the next few years.
Think back to 10-year-old Kevin Durant. What would he have thought if you said, this is all going to happen on one day for you?
I mean, it would have been hard for me to believe, but the work that was put in up until this point, I'm just grateful that I got this opportunity to, at that point, represent my country and also solidify my career going forward. I love to play the game. I love to play in front of these fans here, so I'm looking forward to being the best that I can every single night.
So now on the other end of the emotional spectrum, perhaps, is that Game 7 against the Bucks. Mm-hmm. How often do you think about that shot?
I think about it a lot. That was such a fun series. It was a emotional series for both teams. We went through some stuff. They went through some stuff. And it's one of them old-fashioned series that you always remember. And, you respect your opponents and the organization you played against, because it was such a tough one. So, it's one of those things we'll look at and see where we are as a group and kind of gauge some of the stuff that we do this year off of, what we built last year and just keep moving forward.
Have you all had any discussions, like you and your teammates, about your goals for this season?
Yeah, I mean, we all professionals and we all know what the main goal is in the NBA, which is to win a title. But a lot factors into that, and we understand that each day is important. We can't win one in October. So we got to be locked in from day one. And once that, opportunity presents itself to us and, towards the end of the season, we got to be prepared for it. So we're looking forward to taking those steps.
When you all got together last season, there was a lot of chatter about how, there's not enough basketballs. You played with James before. Mm-hmm. So what was it about his game that you knew you guys could find success together?
Yeah, I mean, I felt like all three of us have seen team success in the playoffs before, so we understand that it's much bigger than us as individuals, and a lot of guys on our team have that same mentality. I mean, I can understand that if we were three younger guys who haven't played in meaningful games before, but we all played in huge games, so we know what it takes to win, and we know that you also need talent in this league as well. So we're going to have to come together as a group and keep growing and building on what we started, and hopefully we get the job done.
James talked with me about the selflessness of this team and how all you all want is success for each other. How important is that, and how underrated is that?
Yeah, it's an important aspect to a team, because everybody has their own individual journeys that they're on, and that's the beauty of professional sports, that you got guys from different backgrounds that got different motives, and we all got to come together as one group for one common goal. And I think, that's how you build a team, is that everyday process of that. And I think, we got a great group of personalities in order for us to do that, and our talent is going to, come to the forefront when it needs to.
Let's talk a little bit about that talent. What makes James's game so special?
I think most players are right-handed, so for James to be unorthodox as a lefty and be able to move the way he moves, so quickly off the dribble and to be able to shoot it the way he does, it just makes him a unique matchup. So southpaw guys are always tough to stop, but once you add the skill and the IQ to what he has, it makes a Hall of Fame player.
How about Kyrie?
He's just a magician from top to bottom. I mean, first meeting Kyrie, I could tell that since he was a kid, he had a basketball probably sleeping in his bed with him and dribbling everywhere. So he's just a master at the game, at the craft. He's mastered every aspect of it. And, if for him to only be 28, 29 years old, it's incredible to see. So you got Hall of Fame talents, all-world talents on the team. It's great to learn from them every single day.
Now, when you look down your roster, you've got some names that they're stars in their own right. Maybe not superstars, but former all-stars. How do you see this team meshing together and everyone figuring out what their role is?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely going to take a training camp and preseason to figure out what our flow is with each other, But for the most part, you got guys that played on, good teams throughout their career, so they understand what roles they need to play and what they can help the team do. And you got veteran guys who want to, win the championship, and so they'll do whatever it takes. And looking forward to building with everybody on the team and seeing where we are, each step of the way. And we just keep grinding every day.
Preseason's around the corner. What will you look at as a measuring tool or stick to see if you guys are progressing?
I mean, just the level of intensity in practice and the focus we have on the details of the game. I think that shows every team if they're getting better, if they're locked in, if we focus on the fundamentals and master the fundamentals. I think we'll be in good shape. And that's easier said than done. And we'll take our whole training camp and season to get our rhythm and figure out who we are as a group and move from there.
So we are in Brooklyn, and there are certain mandates as it relates to the COVID vaccination. How do you think that will impact your team?
I don't think it will. Looking forward to going out there and having a healthy season and playing in front of our fans here in the Barclays and from the start, so we're looking forward to it.
Excellent. Thank you. Good luck this season.
Thank you.
All right, now here with Stephanie live on our Media Day coverage, and all due respect to Kevin Durant, but the COVID protocols are already impacting the team because Kyrie Irving is not on hand today for Media Day. He's apparently not compliant with New York City's COVID protocols issued by the mayor, Bill de Blasio, which require New York area pro athletes to be vaccinated to play or practice for their teams. What's the latest that you're hearing from the Nets on this?
Well, Matt, thanks for having me on. We have not gotten an official report yet. Media Day is still happening, as you can see all around me. We were supposed to speak with Kyrie Irving today, actually, similar to the situation and setup you saw that we had with Kevin Durant. We spoke with several other players. We have not seen Kyrie Irving. So, again, no official word. We're waiting to hear what they will be telling us. You hate to speculate with something this serious, but when I spoke with players, I spoke with Kevin, I spoke with Blake Griffin, I spoke with Paul Millsap, James Harden, LaMarcus Aldridge, and I asked them all a very similar question. How will these COVID vaccination mandates impact or affect their team? I got various answers. Some chose not to comment at all. Some said, I don't think it will be impactful, like you heard Kevin Durant say, but some acknowledge that there's the possibility that there could be an issue. If you have an opportunity, I'm sure we'll play the James Harden interview, or at least the sound bites when I asked James that question. I didn't specifically name a player, but he elicited the name of Kyrie Irving and said he will be who he is, and we are going to just try our best to be successful. I'm paraphrasing, of course, Matt, but you get the idea. Everyone is aware of the situation. We all know what the rules and laws and mandates are in various cities, New York and San Francisco in particular, as it relates to this league, because there are 3 teams that are directly affected. If you do not comply with the COVID vaccination mandate, you will not be able to play in your home games. That's 41. But also, maybe even more importantly, Matt, no practicing either if your practice facility is within those municipalities and those city limits. That is extremely impactful when you're talking about a long 82-game season. Half of them you sit out. Who knows how many practices you'll miss? I just don't know how you could be a positive contributor.
Yeah, and in the short term, the Nets are headed to San Diego to practice, so this COVID policy in New York won't affect any player in the short term, but eventually, in order to play home games, as you mentioned, the players will have to be vaccinated. I guess if there's any silver lining, and this is a tough situation if it's your home games, but if there's any silver lining for this team, it's that A, they have a ton of depth, and B, they're used to not playing with their star players because they did it most of last season.
That's a really good point, Matt. And as every single player that I spoke with today mentioned, they are a team of veteran players. They're selfless. They have common goals in mind. They want to see the success of each other. And then in turn, that will translate to team success. So I think that is a good point. They do have the power, the manpower, the firepower, if you will, to be successful, but it's not the team that they built or envisioned. So they obviously have a plan in mind when you look at the roster that's set before them. If a player is not eligible to participate, that is going to change the plan and strategy.
All right, Stephanie Reddy with us from Brooklyn. Media day underway for the NBA championship favorites, Brooklyn Nets. Thanks, Steph. Talk to you soon.
Thanks, Matt.
All right, guys, I want to get your reaction to all this. You know, the subject of vaccination for some folks is a touchy one. And Kyrie Irving apparently is not vaccinated, or he would be there. That seems to be the case. That seems pretty clear. If you're a teammate, what do you do about this, if anything?
Well, like you said, it's a touchy situation. This isn't, does he want to be here or not? People have different beliefs. And my beliefs might not be the same as yours, and doesn't make my beliefs right or yours wrong. So in this situation, you just kind of have to be there for Kyrie as a teammate. You're hoping that he comes back and that he's going to be able to practice with you and play in the home games. And you just have to take this day by day, and hopefully they get